Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet a true entrepreneur in the world of healthcare, her incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, in the world of medicine, there are two kinds of people. The worker bees, and which are necessary. Every hospital needs one. But then you also have the healthcare entrepreneurs, the ones that look at the healthcare system and say, there must be a better way. In studio right now, Mary Blake. She is a healthcare CEO and clinical consultant. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about your journey. Have you always wanted to be in medicine?
I have. So I've been interested in the sciences for a long time. Ever since I was in middle school, I was always dissecting something
Right.
or chasing insects. I always had a lot of pets. And that love and that passion went with me all the way to college.
Okay.
And
Do they still dissect frogs, or do they do it on a computer these days?
a little bit of both.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's still an aspect of hands-on.
Sure.
And that's really important. But a lot of things have gone digital now. So.
Yeah. So I know you have had a wonderful journey. Tell us about medical school. Tell us about, what was your passion when you were in college?
Yeah, so I was initially pre-med. I got my bachelor's of science in microbiology from the University of Texas in Arlington. Then from there, I was torn for a while because I started doing my rotations, I started doing shadowing, and I realized that it just wasn't for me, not quite. I love the science, I love the ethics and the business of science, but the one-on-one patient health, I just was not a natural at. So I gravitated into clinical research and went into that, ended up loving it, going back to fulfill my master's degree in public health. And then I went back into clinical research following it thereafter at Baylor Hospital. And then my career's just grown from there. Now, I'm on the side of the auditing on the more associate level. So what we do, we travel a good deal. And for facilities, healthcare, hospitals, or medical schools, we're really making sure that they're in compliance with local and federal regulations.
Yes.
And so that way, we're really able to protect both patients and physicians on the document level. And ensure that whenever there's medications, whenever there's new therapeutics or something different that comes to market, everything is ethical. We're making sure that nobody's hurt and that all the medications are effective.
Yeah. And doing my homework for this show, I was so impressed. It was a wonderful article written about you a couple of years ago. Let's put it on the screen. And as we scroll down, one beautiful picture of you, but as we scroll down the screen, I was amazed at just how many pictures there are of you in different scenes of your life. And I don't expect you to narrate each one of these, but as we get to the pictures, let's talk a little bit about kind of your journey. What are we looking at there?
So this was from the Center for Medicine and so at the University of Health. It was a conference, essentially for those that are branching out from the healthcare or medicine into kind of that business space that we were talking about. This is one of my favorite poses. Great shot, really. Yeah. This was my trip to Uganda that I took in 2018. We were standing in front of some of the kids. This is also during that trip, so it was a medical missions-based trip. And the importance is really bringing medication and sanitation awareness to people. And then this is following the Texas STEM conference. And we spoke on the importance of healthcare as it relates to a family sector and overall health and wellness.
Greg Abbott.
And then this is our Governor Greg Abbott. So I mentioned that I got my undergraduate degree from the University of Texas at Arlington, and he is one of our distinguished alumni. He also attended and was a speaker.
That's really cool. She's also a fashion plate. Look at that. You're rocking that outfit.
Thank you. Yeah, so this goes back to my undergraduate days and also my graduate days at Tufts University, where we really got into some of that hard science, looking at the cells, looking at different pathogens, bacteria, and how they relate inside the body, how certain changes in them can affect the human body, and how, our overall health, wellness, preventative health really contributes into that as well. So that's a little bit about my journey.
Well, and Mary, you mentioned Uganda. I want to revisit that, and we've got some wonderful video of you in Uganda. But tell us how long the trip was. What was the experience like for you?
Oh my goodness, life-changing, life-changing. I would tell anybody, if you have not taken a trip abroad, and not just a tourist-based trip, like a lot of people go to Paris or they'll go to, a real nice place. Those are great, but to do something for people that have maybe never seen someone like you, have never interacted with someone like you, who don't even, know the basic necessities that we take for granted, like TV or electricity or running water. And they just get so excited because it's like you're an alien movie star, right? Because you're so foreign, but yet they want to know more.
You were telling me a cute story about, I guess the surgical gloves that you guys wear. Tell that story.
Yeah, so one of the funny stories, we wear the surgical gloves for sanitation and then kind of throw them out.
Yeah.
One of my colleagues that went with me came up with the idea. She blew up one of them up, just put a smiley face on it, gave it to one of the kids, and all of them surrounded it. They lost it. It was like a toy. And so they all wanted one. They all wanted a smiley face. They all wanted a balloon glove.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the trip, we see them all just waving these little blow it up. And it seems so silly to us.
Yeah.
But for them, it was really special.
No, your eyes light up when you talk about it. Now, we should mention that she is something of an entrepreneur, and she's always creating and recreating herself. Let's talk a little bit about the app. So we're going to put this up on the screen. Tell us about the app.
Yes. So in 2019, I founded my company, Blake Incorporated. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I wanted our focus to be on was overall health. And that includes physical, mental, financial, and lifestyle.
Sure.
One of the really big important things when it comes to lifestyle is just our social interaction and how important it is to have a social life.
Sure.
As it relates to, just being around other people. And for a long time, we've been cooped up and caught up into being at home, which there's nothing wrong with, but a lot of times you start to miss out on those interactions culturally, traditions, getting out. We just saw some footage of a whole different country.
Sure.
And so in creating the app, our initial premise was to give people a resource when they travel, a management tool, so that, number one, it takes out the frustration of planning so much, not knowing what to do. You're going somewhere to relax, but you're frustrated up until that point. So it gives you some budgeting tools so that you can take that with you. You've got packing tools, you've got tips when you're traveling, documents to take, checklists to do, and then we've got our user-to-user integration so that when you are traveling somewhere, you actually have the ability to communicate with other users, upload photos, and share advice one-on-one.
Wow. Well, one of the coolest things is this is a prototype, and I want you to demonstrate it. Show it up on camera how it works. So this doubles as a water bottle, and then it has kind of a surprise inside. It's filled like Cracker Jacks. What? Okay, tell us what we're looking at.
Yeah, so
These are the earbuds?
yeah, take one of
That's
those.
really cool.
So we kind of combine the idea of when you're traveling, two things you need are to hydrate yourself.
Sure.
You know, you want to make sure you've got water or your beverage of choice. And then all of us love some type of media entertainment, or whether you're listening to a podcast, whether you're listening to music. Now you have two in one. So you can just pop your earbud in your ear. You have your beverage and it self-charges. So when you're done,
No
you just
kidding.
put it back in, close the top.
Absolutely brilliant. And that's a prototype. Do you did you have a copyright on that? You need to. Mark Cuban, if you're wanting.
Call me.
That's right.
We do want to work with Mark Cuban.
That's awesome. Okay, well, let's talk about the future. We've got about 2 or 3 minutes left. You're going for your doctoral. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so one thing that I really want to be able to do when I'm in spaces, when I'm speaking, when I'm presenting, is to show a level of credibility, is to earn the respect of my colleagues, myself, and to really know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
So I am pursuing my doctoral degree in public health at the University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Nice.
One of my aspects with that is going to be to ultimately go into the political realm of public health. So anywhere from Health and Human Services, National Institute of Health, Center for Disease and Control, but I would really like to see people who have worked from the ground level up
Yes.
and can really contribute to those conversations and to policies that are going to help on the community level and national level.
Outstanding. Okay, in the little time we have left, I want you to look right into the camera and talk to the young lady who is looking at you saying, I think I found my role model. Because you have really kind of conquered and you still are climbing mountains. Talk to that young lady watching.
Well, first of all, thank
Yeah,
you.
of
That's
course.
really kind.
You bet.
Anyone who is an entrepreneur, I think they can attest to it's not always easy. You know, you do it anyway. You do it, you're frustrated, you do it if you're broke, you do it if you don't know the end goal, you do it if, you know, doors are closed in your face, and you find ways to create your own door and create your own path. And then as that happens, you become in alignment with other people, and then those doors start to open back up. One of my ultimate goals is to create a path to show people that, number one, you can mirror, you can put several concepts together. You don't have to just stay in one box. Yes, I love science and public health, but I also love fashion. You know, I also love travel. I also love well-being and sports and things like that in media. So another thing that I would really love to see is people who kind of encompass several passions, several things that they're good at, bring them together.
Outstanding. Wow, what an inspiration. We're going to end with your LinkedIn page. Mary Blake, you are just so impressive. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your journey.
Thank you for having me.
You
Thank
bet.
you for having me.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.